Hello everybody. We're going to take a look at what it's like to multiply fractions by whole numbers. This is lesson 2.3D at WAMAP, and these are the two problems we're going to take a look at. 3/4 times 7, or 3/4 of 7, and 3/4 times 6, or 4/3 of 6, or 4/3 times 6. Okay, so let's take a look at the tablet. So one thing I like to do is write numbers in equivalent ways that help you understand the rules that we're applying. So everyone should know that any number divided by 1 is equal to itself. So we can take a whole number, 7, and write it as a fraction, 7 over 1. And these two numbers this is equal to 7 over 1. So if we were to line this up this way, 3/4 times 7 over 1, does that make it easier to see what to do? What number gets multiplied by what? So we have 3/4 times 7/1, right? So this is the same as any multiplication of fractions. Numerators times the numerators gives us the new number of numerators. So that's 3 times 7, 21 there. And then in the denominator, this is the size, right? The unit here is 1/4. Unit over here is one whole unit. So we have fourths times whole units, and that's going to give us fourths. So 3/4 times 7/1 gives us 21/4. And then this has to be, according to this instructions, let's take a look if I can find them. Simplify your answer and write as an improper fraction, simple fraction, or whole number. So no decimals on this one. So 21 over 4 is an improper fraction, so I think this qualifies. Let's take a look and see if it works. Let's see, did that get us there? 3/4 times 7, we're going to say 21/4. Enter. Looks like we got that one right. Let's try another one. 4/3 times 6. And we're going to set this up the same way. This is the same as saying 4/3 times 6 over 1. And that's going to give us 24 over 3. And can this be reduced? One thing we could have done is pre-reduced, do a prime factorization of some of these numbers, excuse me, where we can rewrite 4 as 2 times 2 and 6 as 2 times 3. And you may have already seen there's we got a 3 in the top and a 3 in the bottom, so we can take those out. And that leaves 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And in the denominator, we have just 1. So here we have a fraction that we can turn back into a number. 8 over 1 is the same as 8. So I think that's the answer they might be looking for at WAMAP. Let's take a look and see. And we'll try it. So they said improper fraction, simple fraction, or whole number. So I'm wondering if we put in 8 over 1, if that'll be accepted. I'm going to try 8 over 1. They don't like that one. Okay, so we need to know that that's not reduced far enough. Even though they are mathematical equivalents, we need to follow the instructions. So here we have a green check. So 8 over 1 didn't work because you could simplify it one more step and just use a whole number. So that was one of the options. Improper fraction for the first one, and then a whole number on the second one. And simple fraction if it can't be reduced, but 8 over 1 can be reduced one more step. Let's do an equivalent, see if we get anything interesting here. 1/6 times 8. And then let's do another one if it doesn't yell at us. 4/3 times 9. Okay, let's go take a look at what those turn into. Oops, I'm running off my page, running off the screen. So we can just multiply this numerator times 8, and since we'd have a 1 in the denominator, we can eliminate one step. But one thing we might want to consider is how is whether or not we can take anything out of this 6 that we see in the 8, right? So if we were to do a prime factorization, we would see 2 and 3 for the 6, and 2 and 2 and 2 for the 8. So we could divide those both by 8. Let's divide that by 8 and get 4. And divide the 6 by 2 and get 3. And then I think we can multiply those out. So 1 times 4 is 4. And 3 times 1 is 3. So 4/3. This is this is an improper fraction, but they don't want a mixed number. They want us to write it this way. Okay, and how about on the bottom here? We've got 4/3 times 9. So 3 and 9 have a shared factor of 3. So this can become 1. This can become 3. We're going to get 12 over 1, which is, we know now for sure to write as 12. So this is going to be our second answer. So can you see a pattern here where we had an improper fraction on the first one and a fraction that became a whole number on the second one? So when you're doing WAMAP, just remember to watch for a pattern, because they are often there. It's really hard to think up original math problems that are effective. So there's one. And then the second one should be 12. Okay, we're doing okay. So please give those a try. And if you run into any trouble, just message me from inside the app right here with the message instructor button. All right, go try.